Hello, welcome to the Madness Collective. I am Crescent. My co-host is Antoine.
Hey.
What's up? What's up? And tonight it's just the two of us. You got the two of us tonight, okay? We don't have a guest co-host. But Antoine, I didn't tell you this. Ife is gonna join us Wednesday night, okay?
Yo.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So
Awesome. I'm looking forward to that.
I know, right? That
Ife
should be
is opinionated. I can't wait. She got thoughts. Ife got thoughts.
that part. Like for real, for real. So yeah, so we'll see what happens Wednesday night. But yeah, we'll have Ife on Wednesday night and it's gonna be fun.
Nice. I'm looking forward to that.
Yes. So if you're tuning in for the first time, we recap the days, hours, headlines, and just do what we can to try and keep you in a loop. Mind you, the news over the last couple days has just been a little depressing. So we gonna do what we can to keep it light, but you gonna see from these headlines. Okay, so tonight, Wendy Williams doc aired over the weekend. I meant to ask you, did you watch it?
I watched the first episode.
Okay, good. Okay. So
Yeah.
Wendy Williams doc aired over the weekend. I didn't watch it, but I read a few recaps, so we'll attempt to discuss with Antoine. Measles is on the loose in Florida. Trump said black people relate to him because he has indictments and mugshots, and of course sneakers. There's a MAGA dude who joyfully opened his CPAC speech with "Welcome to the end of democracy." Right. So real-time examples of that, though: the IVF ruling in Alabama, which has Republicans running scared, as it should. Pregnant women in Missouri cannot get a divorce until the baby comes. Where we at? Tennessee law allows officials to refuse to perform same-sex marriages. Texas and 14 other states told the federal government, "No, we don't need your money to feed these low-income kids. They be all right." Oklahoma State Senator called LGBTQ plus LGP. Good Lord, I usually get it right.
It's okay.
LGBTQ plus people filth.
I just say gay girl. I ain't got time for it. I'm part of the alphabet now. I don't say the whole thing.
I like seeing the whole thing. I be feeling like, let's do this. Okay. But anyway, this asshole called them filth when discussing the murder of a non-binary student named Nex Benedict.
Disgusting.
This story, a black man was found hanging in Georgia. Some Michigan voters are willing to let democracy die because reasons. And then MSNBC commentator Jason Johnson invites Killer Mike to a conversation. I actually probably will have fun with that one. So a couple people in the chat already. What's up, Sarah? What's up? Is it, I want to say column? Is that how would we say that?
We got to get this right because
I know. Because hi, welcome.
I'm pretty sure Callum gave us the pronunciation key before. So Callum, when you get a chance, tell us how to pronounce your first name again.
Somebody take notes.
I'm gonna make a note of it. Make a note of it.
We sorry, but welcome. Yeah. We appreciate, welcome to the militia. Okay,
yes,
you've been consistent. We appreciate that. Okay, so Wendy Williams, where is Wendy? Good, Antoine. You said you. Oh, why? So
it was a difficult. It's hard for me to watch it. I'm gonna watch the whole thing. I watched the first episode.
Actually, you know what? I know why you're shaking your head because yes, from what I read, this is a mess. So I'm curious about. Okay, so it seems like a good portion of documentary is before she entered the wellness facility that she's in right now, right?
Yeah. On the first episode, they show her, and then at some point, she goes to the wellness facility, and then she comes back. And when they show her when she comes, this is all in the first episode.
Okay.
When you first see her, she does not look good and clearly disoriented. And then, it's one of those documentaries where it's a lot of transitions to a black screen where the words pop up and they tell you what's about to happen. Mm-hmm. So they explain that she went to a wellness facility and then it comes back and she looks really good. She looks like her old self. But then they start talking to her, and it's clear this woman is not. Sometimes it feels like what's actually happening is everybody knows there's no way she could ever go back to television or do a podcast. It feels like because she has the funds to entertain this fantasy, they're just allowing her to have this fantasy because she clearly is not in a state to speak to anyone on a public platform. A lot of times she's just confused. It's like when we just read that headline about dementia, watching it, she is deep in it from the very beginning.
That seems like just even the cursory glances I got from clips. I'm like, okay. So what I was trying to figure out what timeline was with, I know she was with her family in Florida. And then I know she had to go back to New York. And then that's when the guardianship got put in place.
Right.
And then the guardianship, she was still in her house, but like currently she's in a facility.
Yeah, the current thing comes later.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, the what ends up happening on the first episode, the guy that was her jeweler who becomes her manager.
The Shelby dude.
Yeah, he's a big part of it. So it's when she comes back after going to the wellness center, because there's this person interviewing her and she treats this person like she's a total asshole to the person asking the questions. But she always comes back. At one point, they're like, so you just came back from a wellness center? And she's like, yeah. And they're like, why were you there? And she goes, I don't know. She says, I don't know every other question because she doesn't have an answer for it. And the manager goes, we just felt like she needed to heal and she needed to focus on healing. And Wendy's like, I didn't need that. I could have done that at home. I could have did that at home. She's behaving like a bratty 4-year-old.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's being disrespectful to people. And, it's one of those things where people have to, when you're dealing with a person that has dementia, they can be assholes, but you have to give them grace because they're in a persistent state of confusion. They don't really even know what's happening around them. So, yeah, there's a lot that happens in the first episode.
CJ said, listen, we need to talk about that damn Will Shelby.
I know.
And that's what I gathered. Again, this is just from reading. They said the publicist seems questionable. This manager dude seemed questionable. Because at one point, it sounds like they took her to a vape shop and she was like yelling out all these different directions and stuff. Did that happen in the first episode?
No, but in the first episode, you do see her, she's getting her makeup done and she's vaping. I'm just like, I know she vaped. But she is so incredibly disrespectful to everyone around her. At one point, she has a nephew who is interviewed. And so it's funny when he talks, his voice he looks like a little boy, but he has a Barry White voice.
Okay.
So it's parts where other people won't speak on, like he talks about because he lived with Wendy for a little while. And he basically said, yeah, when I lived with her, she would come home from work. She would go in her room with a vape and a bottle of vodka, and we would not see her until 5 a.m. when she had to go back to the studio. He said that's all she did. And so he said, because he and Kevin, her son Kevin Jr., they're close. They're close in age.
Okay.
So yeah, it's like I said, this is something I'm watching for the people because, I was a fan of the show. I wasn't the biggest fan of, how she treated people, but it just seemed like people ate it up. It was part of the appeal. Yeah. But watching someone just in a persistent state of deterioration and these people around her, it's difficult. I can't even.
The last thing, because again, like I said, I haven't watched. I read a couple of different recaps to kind of get as much of a picture as possible. It sounds like when she was with the family in Florida, things seemed like she was, at least from their perspective, it seemed like she was doing better.
She did. That's when she saw her son. The cousin said, we never saw her after, she started going in the wrong direction. The cousin said when she came to Florida, a day didn't go by where Kevin Jr. wasn't with her. He had her seeing a trainer.
She was vegan, he said?
Yeah, the cousin said she did a 180. He said she did. She wasn't all the way back, but it was manageable. It was like we saw the old Wendy coming back.
Yeah. And I remember you said on Friday, dealing with, was it your father? You said just having family around when there's a neurological.
It's so important. And I think, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the cousin said once she went back to New York, she just completely, all that progress was lost. And he was saying that, he said it was funny because for some reason they wanted to keep her in New York. And you know why? They wanted to keep her in New York so they could keep her, so she could keep doing the show.
Right.
And by that time, it was, everybody, it should have been clear to anybody with half a brain that this woman had no business being on television. I'll even be honest, watching even just that first episode, I'm not okay with us seeing this. This should not be seen.
That's what I was getting. Callum said, will Shelby admitted to not calling the ambulance or driving her to the hospital.
Right.
That's when he ain't no manager. He from round the way.
Right. So the interviewer asks Shelby, did you call the ambulance when you basically found her in this deteriorated state? And he wouldn't answer the question. So they also talked to what's the DJ's name? It's not Self. What's his name? DJ I forget his name.
B. I think
it starts with a B. I can't remember his name right now. Booth? Is it Booth? Booth. DJ Booth, I think. So
sorry to this man.
Booth was spending a lot of time with her because he knew, he was like, he said, y'all didn't know this was happening. She didn't know what was going on. He was constantly holding up cue cards. And he said he had to constantly be around her because with her kind of deteriorating mentally, again, you like familiarity. He said he would be in the room and she would kick everybody out. He had to do lighting. He had to show the cue cards. She didn't trust anybody. Wow. And so he went over to our house one day and I guess he found her like she was past.
I did. So, I read about that part.
He didn't want, they were asking who called the ambulance and these niggas wouldn't say, but I guess then the cousin came on and I think he said Booth called the ambulance.
Oh, so that's when the manager did not call the ambulance.
Right. I guess Booth called the ambulance. So.
Okay. Look, again, thank you for watching it for the people because I don't think I'm going to be able to do it.
It's a rough
will say this. We don't have Wendy money yet. Don't have Wendy fame yet. And I'm talking even to the people watching us. I don't know what y'all situations are, but get you a trust. Okay. Get all this shit lined up while you still in your right mind. And appoint the people who need to be in charge of your money, your health, all of that stuff. Like while you still got all your faculties and can get shit notarized and signed off legally. Cause this is a mess.
Yeah. It's bad.
Damn.
It's bad. And the fact, and the saddest part out of all of it for me was when they interviewed Kevin Jr. seems kind of reluctantly participating. And they asked him, when was the last time you saw your mother? He said 8 months ago.
Yeah, I saw that, read that.
8 months. This woman is in this state and the whole time, whenever they talk to Wendy, she starts tearing up. They're like, is there anything, any relationships you want to repair? And she's like, my son. And then she just starts crying. So yeah, it's bad.
And I'm like, I get that she was mean because that's a lot of people talking about online. Well, not a lot, but I saw a couple different posts about it. Like, karma. And I'm like, just don't, come on. Now you evil too. Like, don't, this is bad. This is a very bad state. And nobody's saying she was perfect. Yes, she did some shady, not good shit. Like, we can be clear on that. But this is just, come on.
Well, you know, the funny thing with karma, because I try not to attack Christian values here on the show because most people I know are Christian, but
sure.
I just find it interesting that because I think even a couple people in the comments mentioned that they felt like it was karma, and that's your right to believe that.
Yeah.
But I feel that karma is very interesting because when somebody does something bad and then something bad happens to them, people call it karma. What do we call it when bad things happen to good people? I've never, there's no rhyme or reason to it. We just always find our own means of logic to explain why something's happening to somebody. And, I think a lot of these things you just, when it comes to genetics, a lot of times it's a roll of the dice. It's not because you did something bad. Yeah. So that's all I want to put out there. I will never understand karma because bad things look, because I keep telling y'all, hoes are out here winning. Camilla is the Queen of England. So is that karma? She is the queen of England. So I don't know. I don't know. Good things be happening to bad people. Hoes be winning. And that don't seem like karma. That's why I'll leave it at.
Okay, so Tony said, I'll take evil. Ife said, Wendy's experiencing what she put out for many years.
So Ife is...
Tony and Ife are like, fuck her, okay? Also, like, Ife's still going. Ife ready for Wednesday already. She said it's her energy as well.
I told y'all Ife got opinions.
Danielle said, we call it character development. And then Karen and I are on the same page. I wouldn't wish dementia on my worst enemy. I'm wishing that shit on Trump, but it seemed like he already got it. So, whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, she said that's not the correct definition of karma. We'll talk about it on Wednesday.
Okay.
But she does agree, hoes do be winning.
At least I'm not crazy.
No. Okay. So yeah, sorry. We're gonna move on from Wendy, but well, thank you for taking one for the team, because no thank you. Yeah. Okay. Contagion. Hey, yay, measles. So here's the funny part is I usually do a post to our Instagram page that then goes to our Facebook page. And that was one of the pictures I was supposed to do. I didn't post that shit. Sorry.
It's so nasty.
Monday I didn't get no sleep last night, not because I was doing something fun, okay? Like it just was. My neighbors are nocturnal. Let me just say that. Lovely people, but they be up all night. Anyway, measles. Okay, so the headline is, measles is a heat-seeking missile, experts warn, as Florida outbreak grows. Now, let me say, okay, from the headline alone, I thought it was like mad cases.
I thought it was too.
So it's currently 8. Actually, it might be 9, because I did read another article today, okay?
Yeah.
Which I'm like, okay, that's not a good look, but it's not. But I did see in Ohio in 2022, they did have 85 children infected at one point. Mm-hmm. Now that's an outbreak, okay?
Yeah.
And 42% of them people needed to be, 42% of those children need to be hospitalized.
Yeah.
But going back to Florida, and we should talk about Florida because Florida. So the CDC said as of Friday, there's at least been 35 measles cases in 15 states, right? Mm-hmm. January, there's 9 measles cases in Pennsylvania. There was 8 in Philadelphia alone. But they said if there's no more cases reported, then the Philadelphia outbreak will be declared over. Right. Michigan finally got a measles case. Here's the issue with Florida. Is that trifling as, what is he, their Surgeon General? Mm-hmm. Who was a black man who allegedly went to Harvard, allegedly.
Broke my heart when I saw the color of that man's skin.
Allegedly. Oh, DeSantis will find one of us to put into a position, be like, no, see, look.
Yeah. I was ready to research his background, see if he's, a tap dancer. Because, I don't like using the other word.
Clearly he is.
Yeah, that's what it appears to be. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but here's the thing. This fool out here saying they're letting parents decide whether to quarantine their children or keep sending them to motherfucking school. Measles is so motherfucking contagious. It has a long incubation period, and it's like it lingers in the air for I think like 2 hours. Like if somebody's in the vicinity,
I think it's 3 hours actually.
That's all bad. And this, I forgot who this woman was, but she said measles is the most infectious pathogen in humans that we know of.
Yeah.
It will find people who are not immune and they're going to be sick, period. Unvaccinated people have a 90% chance of becoming infected.
You're gonna get it. They just, because what was the state was it Ohio you said when they got it, they nipped it in the bud though? Was that Ohio?
Yeah, it was Ohio.
So, yeah,
because they told motherfuckers to quarantine properly.
Yes, if there's a school with 1 or 2 measles cases, everybody in that school needs to quarantine for 21 days. It ain't let's see how you feel about it. Everybody needs to be quarantined and they need to be vaccinated immediately. You can't tell people, well, if you feel okay, just kind of do what you feel like or whatever. With a highly contagious fucking airborne disease, only in Florida.
Okay. And so
giving people choices. They want everybody to have choices.
How is this your Surgeon General? How he should have his license revoked. Like, that is insanity.
But why would you not follow the protocol that the last location that had a big outbreak, why would you not follow the same protocol that they used, knowing that it worked? Because they told them it was going to take like 9 months to nip it in the bud, and they did that shit with the quickness.
Yeah.
That shit disappeared like that because they attacked the problem properly.
Yeah. So people who are infected can spread it up to 3 weeks. Okay. So that's what they do tell you, like 21 days really from like once it's clear that you have it, to keep you out of like circulation.
Yeah.
But Florida, freedom. Okay. Cause remember they didn't shut down during COVID. No. Like, so, you know, DeSantis is all about, hey, let the sick people walk among us. Like, isn't that how The Living Dead kicks off? Like, I didn't watch that show, but
The Walking Dead, yeah.
Living Dead.
I wonder if there's a way, because I feel like, and you know, people aren't gonna like this, but it's like we gotta, particularly looking at what happened with COVID. If you leave the country and you're unvaccinated, when you come back, I feel like you should have to be quarantined or something. Like, that's weird to me. I mean, that's weird to me because that is where the cases are coming from. Yep. The cases are all coming from international travel. So you have people who are not vaccinated themselves or not vaccinating their kids, and they going to, you know, Morocco and shit or wherever the fuck they going, and they coming back with shit that, you know, we don't even have here anymore. Like, come on. It's like this is what irritates me. Everybody just want to do what the fuck they want to do and not follow any goddamn rules.
None.
Like, come on, for the betterment, for just for the peace of we sometimes have to sacrifice a little bit of our freedom so that everybody else can be safe.
What? In America? No.
You have people who are uneducated. Uneducated people are making the choice as to whether or not to send their children to a place that you can't put these types of decisions in the hands of people who are not educated on what the risks are.
So that's crazy. It is highly insanely and losing don't even have the vocab for this doctor who is Harvard educated to say, no, it's okay. You can keep them home. You can send them to school. Were you not present where y'all talking about measles in med school? Like, what is happening here?
I don't get
it.
Okay,
you said, you're in a leadership position. Lead properly. It's frightening.
I'm questioning these Harvard educations, if you want to ask me. I'm questioning that Harvard. What are they teaching these niggas over there?
That one is this is why I'm highly bothered, okay? Like,
I think they set you right at UConn. That's what they did. They set you right when you went there. That's how you ended up being well adjusted.
You mean, when I went to UPenn?
I said UConn. I meant UPenn. Girl.
Like, no, that was the bad time. UPenn. I mean, sorry to, no offense to UPenn. It was law school and I didn't like it. But but that's what I'm saying. Like, as a black person who went to Harvard, you are giving black people a bad name. You giving Harvard a bad name. This is all bad. No, thank you.
I get her secondary education. Look, for the longest, look, give me a couple more minutes. I was going to say Penn State. It changes every time I mention it.
It's okay. It's all good. It's all good. Sarah said, they're like, just rebranded Measles Monday. The last thing, and we're going to move on, is, and I don't support this. I disagree with it, but I understand where this is coming from, right? All these parents out here talking about, I'm not vaccinating my kids, vaccines is blah, 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 right? So you would prefer to have your child get measles and potentially hospitalized. Like, this is not, like, this shit was eradicated. It legitimately was. And yet you're okay with that happening.
No, because Denise at the Piggly Wiggly told you that you ain't got to do it because it's all a scam.
Or Elon, something you read on fucking Twitter, online, someplace.
Girl, you ain't got to do it. It's causing all kinds of problems, girl. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Callum said spring break is coming up. Hoo boy, Florida about to be on fire.
Oh, that's true.
I would not be taking my ass to Florida right now. Oh my goodness. No, thank you. Okay, moving on to more stupid, insane ass headlines. So Danielle and I this is our thread. Me, you, and Danielle, our thread. I was like, so Trump's racism is just like supercharged at this point. He's just like, fuck it, we going all out. So
yes,
he had Friday and Saturday speeches. One was this Black Conservative Federation, which when you scan the room with the camera, it looked like mostly white people, but I wasn't looking too close. Then he had no, it wasn't. I think that was part of CPAC, but I don't know. I can't keep all this shit straight. But then he had a South Carolina win. I'm just gonna quote him. I got indicted for nothing, for something that is nothing. They were doing it because it's an election interference. And then I got indicted a second time, and a third time, and a fourth time. And a lot of people said, that's why the Black people like me, because they have been hurt so badly and discriminated against. And they actually view me as I'm being discriminated against. Continuing. Black conservatives understand better than most that some of the greatest evils in our nation's history have come from corrupt systems that try to target and subjugate others. I'm surprised he got subjugate out his mouth. Mm-hmm. Others to deny them their freedom, to deny them their rights. You understand that? I think that's why the Black people are so.
Why he keep calling us the Black people? That's so fucking the blacks, the blacks, the blacks. So fucking racist.
I think that's why the Black people are so much on my side now, because they see what's happening to me happen to them. Ain't no Black man or woman walking this earth that would have 91 motherfucking indictments and still be able to do all the things you're doing.
Dude, you would be dead. Shit, you'd be fucking dead.
Okay? Like, under the jail. We let you walk freely about while you and run for president.
But then, clearly, well, go ahead.
Then, quoting, the mugshot. We've all seen the mugshot, and you know who embraced it more than anybody else? The Black population. It's incredible. You see Black people walking around with my mugshot. They do shirts.
They
do shirts. They do shirts.
It's so insulting.
Like, what the fuck? Oh my God. Then the projection, right? Because he is great for that. He called Biden a vicious racist. Motherfucker. Okay. First of all, he was the VP to the first Black president. Yes. And now his VP is Black woman.
Yes.
Please don't talk to me about the goddamn Biden crime bill. Stop saying that shit. That he was not the only person who put that forward. Okay. And he's already apologized for it. I know he said.
Didn't the Black Congressional Caucus support this shit? Like, people. You go put it on him, but not judge the Negroes that co-signed it. I just had a conversation with, don't get me started on that.
Okay. So, and also they were saying that, because I was reading, somebody mentioned that in one of the comments that I was reading, and they said, well, I mean, they didn't like it, but yeah, they had to sign off on it. Well, then fucking they signed off on it. Like, what?
Yeah.
Did you read what you just wrote? Like, what the fuck?
Hold them niggas as accountable as you holding this white man. Don't act like he did all this on his own.
Also, he has apologized for it. And yeah, he said some kind of, every now and then he says something a little crazy, but hey, still rolling with him. All right. He has learned. So, Biden, I think recently, like the past week or so, Biden did call him the proud poster boy for modern racism. Facts. Facts. Okay, I got two more quotes, so I'm gonna do this one. Yes, okay. These lights are so bright in my eyes that I can't see too many people out there, but I can only see the Black ones. I can't see any white ones. You see, that's how far I've come. That's a long way, isn't it? These lights, we've come a long way together. And the crowd laughed.
I can't.
The crowd laughed.
I can't. I couldn't believe that was happening. I couldn't believe it was happening. And then they interviewed some of the people. It was particularly a Black woman. She had she said, I don't like everything that he does, but I don't like everything that anybody does. And it was like she was accepting this shit. Like, it was okay. Like, he's not perfect. I'm not perfect.
Okay. So, Danielle was clarifying. Did he call his people this time or just the Blacks? The Black people.
The Black people. I would like to read off just a couple things since.
I got one more quote.
Go ahead.
Yeah. This is last. And disparaging President Obama over the cost of a new Air Force One. Again, the things that be circulating in his head, and I'm like, he's not been president for a minute, right? But that doesn't matter.
Right.
He goes, and I quote, would you rather have the black president or the white president who got 1.7 billion off the price? And the crowd cheered. I think they want the white guy. Go ahead, Antoine. You're about to say.
I didn't even see that part. I didn't even see that part.
Yeah, it was endless.
So in light of, God, there's just so much to unpack here. I'm just gonna read off some of his more egregious offenses that are specific to niggas. Okay. Yes. So when George Floyd, when that situation occurred, the whole country was basically on fire. This motherfucker didn't say anything about it for at least 4 or 5 days. Made no comment about it. No comment. Now, remember when the protest started, there was a protest at the White House. He said that he was going to sick vicious dogs.
I remember that.
On the protesters.
I remember that.
And he was tweeting that I feel very safe right now. Keep it up. See what happens. We got weapons ready. And remember, he went and did that photo shoot with that Bible. Remember, he went and did that photo shoot with all
the Bible upside down?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He called CRT teachings a twisted web of lies and likened it to a form of child abuse. That was in reference to the New York Times Magazine's 1619 project. God. In 2017, that shit that went down in Charlottesville, it was a white supremacist rally. And y'all know what happened. That motherfucker ran people over with a car. And his response was, there's blame on both sides. That is how he responded.
Yep.
He told a group of 4 American congresswomen of color to go back to where they came from.
Remember that?
He wanted to include, this was throwing shade at Biden. He wanted to include a statue of Caesar Rodney. He's one of the people who signed the Declaration. He's one of the little known people that signed the Declaration of Independence.
Oh, wow.
He's from Biden's home state of Delaware.
Okay.
He wanted to do this in a monument to American heroes. A statue in Wilmington, Delaware, of Rodney, who owned slaves, was removed in June of that year amid racial justice protests. And Trump decided that this man was a hero. He wanted to re-erect a statue of him after it was taken down.
Nobody knows who the fuck that man is.
Right. But Trump wants to bring him back. He's a hero. In 1973, look, his racism goes way back.
You got to mention Central Park 5 if we going back.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's on the Central Park 5 was next after this one.
Go ahead.
In 1973, the Justice Department sued the real estate tycoon and his father for their alleged refusal to rent apartments in predominantly white buildings to black tenants. Testimony showed that applications filed by black apartment seekers were marked with a C for colored. Okay, here's something that a worker snitched on him at Trump's castle, which is defunct. That was in Atlantic City. When Donald and Ivana came to the casino, the bosses will order all the black people off the floor. A former employee of Trump's castle told a writer for The New Yorker. Don't forget birtherism. I'm going to let y'all research that. Basically, the nigger couldn't possibly be a real American citizen. No. So we need to see a birth certificate. Nobody asked Billy Clinton for his. Nobody asked George Bush for his. I don't think anybody's ever asked for one. But when the nigger runs, we need to see a birth certificate. He said a bunch of bullshit about Indians. Senator J.D. Vance and Representative Elise Stefanik both said they would have carried out a coup on January 6th to keep Trump in power.
Yep.
These two may be the vice president of the United States at some point.
They're in the running.
He described his Democratic rivals as vermin.
Yep.
A word Hitler regularly used to dehumanize Jewish people. He also said, in reference to immigrants, they're destroying the blood of our country. That's what they're doing. That is a direct reference to Mein Kampf. Mein Kampf. Hitler says all great cultures of the past perished only because the originally creative race died out from blood poisoning. You niggas are gonna vote for this man?
This is
crazy.
This is it. This is the thing right there.
This is crazy.
And
you cannot excuse this.
Absolutely not. No. But we'll circle back to that when we talk about what the Michigan voters were saying, because it is. I don't know how much of it is what people are just unaware of, right? Because hey, clearly you and I stay well informed, right? And clearly the militia stay well informed, right?
They're forgetful as well.
And what? Say it again.
Forgetful and uninformed. So even if you tell them, they forget half this shit that happened.
Yeah, absolutely. And so a lot of times, and I have to just check myself, and I'm like, you know what? No clue. Like literally may just have no clue. But my thing is, once you tell somebody, and it's just like, no, he didn't say that. I'm not, but it's like literally in black and white. That's the part where it's just like, okay, I'm clearly dealing with a cult. Like I'm just you on your own. It is. I can't.
Well, one more thing. What I think is fascinating is that these niggas that are, I don't know, feigning support, considering it, whatever, this delusion that he does not consider you other. You are other just like Mexicans, Muslims, foreigners. You are other to this man. You know why sometimes you are not? When he needs to use you, because you actually are an American and you can help him maintain some sort of political position, like the presidency. Okay. As soon as he uses you, he will put you back in that category with everybody else, because that category speaks to his base.
Absolutely.
So he'll use you. He'll trot out gym shoes and mugshots and say, I'm a nigger too, to get you to come out and vote for him. But once he gets that vote, trust, you do not serve his base. So you got to be smarter than this.
How are you a Tim Scott, a Byron Donalds, and listen to him say the blacks? Like, listen to him say the shit that he says. And I know he says way worse.
Of course.
I know he does.
Of course.
And look, we don't have time to fully psychoanalyze these coons, but it's just, it is mind-boggling, and it's unfortunate. I do want to take a quick note on a more lighter note. Sarah said on an unrelated note, peep Antoine's adorable little sushi shirt.
Thank you. Marshalls. $8.99.
I think Callum said, yes, love the t-shirt. Love Antoine's t-shirt.
Thank you.
I just wanted to make sure we highlighted that. Oh yeah, as Jason's saying, but he signed his stimmy checks, which is another thing too, right? Like just on that, we're gonna move on a little bit. Is he didn't know? Like I'm sorry, he signed them, but he didn't want to do them. Nancy Pelosi made that happen
under duress.
Okay. And again, when you hear somebody black saying, "Oh, I mean, I had more money when he was in office," you also were locked in the house, like you could not leave. Right. Yes. And again, these checks came because Democrats pushed that shit forward, not him. Yeah. And again, if you're having a one-on-one with somebody and I'm keeping my voice calm and not yelling at them, I can do that. It's the deliberate, like, I'm not going to let what you're saying sink in. I refuse to let accurate information hit the brain cells so that I actually might have to like think about some shit and change my mind. Yes. So, and just since we're on this, I don't know. So Jimmy Kimmel did he does the asking people outside like segments, and I should have included it, but just one example. They had the person asking people questions, and so she would say something that Trump did, but she would say Biden first. Okay.
I love it when he does those.
So in this instance, she said the one that stands out the most was, she said, so what do you think about Biden not going to, like, not enlisting because he had bone spurs? The woman immediately says, he's not a patriot. He's this, he's that, la, 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 la. Then she goes, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Is it okay if I ask you the question again? But like, I actually said the wrong name. She's like, it was Trump who didn't enlist because he had bone spurs. Without missing a beat, she goes, I mean, my brother didn't enlist because he had flat feet. Like, without Antoine.
Yes.
It was like it was several of those. And I was just like, y'all are in a cult. Y'all are in a cult. It is what it is. Yeah. And Karen, look, if you can be bought for $2K, you're cheap goods. Hey, hello?
You sure are.
Okay. But look, Biden is old and near death. That's okay. I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it.
I will take the Crypt Keeper over Hitler. I will. I will.
Any day of the week and twice on Sunday. And Tim Scott will let someone call him a nigga.
I believe it.
I agree. I 100% agree too. Yeah. So okay. So in the democracy, because that's where we are. Yeah, nice country you got there. Be ashamed if you lost it. So at CPAC, which had Nazis in the audience, and somebody tried to push back on this, okay? They were like, how dare you print that? It was like, of course, somebody from Republican Party or something, and it was, I think, a NBC or ABC journalist who reported Nazis. And they were like, there were no Nazis present. He was like, I was talking to them. They were talking about head sizes and Jewish shit. Like, he was like, I talked to them. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Anyway, at CPAC, I'm not even going to try and say this dude's name, but he's the guy behind Pizzagate. The sloping forehead, that's my thing about these cats, right? Talking about like pure blood and all this nonsense. You look like you missing a chromosome or two, okay? So
yeah.
Pizzagate dude. CPAC is Conservative Political Action Conference. The panel was moderated by Steve Bannon.
A white supremacist.
Thank you. And I quote, welcome to the end of democracy. We are here to overthrow it completely. We didn't get all the way there on January 6th, but we will endeavor to get rid of it and replace it with this right here. Gesturing to the crowd, right? And as he spoke, Bannon said, amen. And then he continued with, all glory is not to government, all glory to God. So, and we're going to circle back to this, but those who are out here talking about, well, I don't really like Trump, but like Biden's old and I just don't feel like he's really doing the things I want him to do. Bitch, you ain't gonna have a democracy, okay? Like you ain't gonna have a country. It's gonna be a wrap. It's just gonna be a wrap.
It's not even under a veil of secrecy at this point. It's like literally, we are here with our Nazi friends. We want to destroy democracy. Fuck the niggers and the Mexicans. We're not hiding anymore. We're out in the open. It's finna do what it's gonna do. That's basically what they saying. I mean, how and the fact that these people are adjacent to this man who's running for president. 100%. They're not completely removed from him. They are adjacent to him.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sarah said, I have more confidence in Riblet running the country than Trump. I'm sorry. Am I supposed to know who Riblet is? Who's Riblet?
I don't know who Riblet is either.
CJ said, I would vote for an empty Amazon box. Thank you, Daniel. Some of us still revere the elders as the wise ones. I mean, hey, also look, country ain't too bad. Look, shit's still high, but that's actually not his fault. Okay, like they were colluding. The egg companies were colluding to keep egg prices high. That got found out. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Gas prices, right? Like he's not in charge of that shit. So,
they did it with tuna as well. Remember, I think we did a story on the show. Maybe I don't know if we did it on the show. Yeah, it happened with tuna. All the tuna companies, Bumblebee, Chicken of the Sea, they all colluded to raise the price of tuna owners. Y'all gotta stay woke.
Please do. Tony said he saw a pic of MAGA, a GOP logo, and End Democracy on a poster in Chattanooga yesterday. They out here. They are out here. Like they telling you what they gonna do. They saying it. Just listen. Really, just listen.
It's scary. It's scary.
Karen said, if there's a Nazi at your rally and you don't kick them out, it's a Nazi.
It's a Nazi rally. I think that's my quote of the night. That's my favorite quote of the night. It's like it reminds me of what somebody says something about a shit cake. Who says it? It's like it's just one little piece of shit in the cake, so you should be able to eat the cake. Who's gonna eat that cake? It's got one little piece of shit in it. It's a shit cake.
Right. Oh, wait. You know what? Riblet is Sarah's kitten.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Oh
Sure
my
is.
God. Yes. So Jason, Jason coming out like he's like, here's the thing, there's no electoral college in a true democracy. Fair. We never had a
Yeah.
democracy. We still need to keep heading in the right direction. No, yes, obviously, but the democracy
Yeah.
that we understand it to be in this current iteration of it, we need to keep that, and to your
Yeah.
point, continue to work to make it better.
Yeah.
So wait, oh, I do have another quote for you. I was gonna mention at some point, but I'll do it now so I don't forget. If you don't do politics, politics will do you.
Oh, that's a good one. That's
I
a
just
good
heard that
one.
today. I think Clay Kane, he wrote a book, The Grift, obviously about it's actually about black conservatives, but it's about what's happening right now.
Somebody I know just referenced that book. Do they reference that on like MSNBC from time to time? The
This
book is called The Grift?
I think so. I meant to
That
double
sounds
check
like
it.
something I need to read.
I know, right? Hold on, let me double check it.
Let me
Clay,
pull up my Goodreads account and put it in there. Because
Clay
I'll
Kane.
forget.
Yes, The Grift, the downward spiral of black Republicans from I don't know why I can't see the rest of it. My laptop wants to move slow. Okay. The Grift, the downward spiral of black Republicans from the party of Lincoln to the cult of Trump. Oh, it just came out at the end of the month, last month. It just came out at the end of January.
Wait a minute. Oh, here we go. Want to read. Okay, I'm in there.
Okay. Yes. Yes. Okay. So I like that one. That's again, we'll repeat. If you don't do politics, politics will do you.
In the butt with no Vaseline.
So with regard to this, again, nice country you got there. Be ashamed if you lost it. Issues you might want to care about, okay? As we remember in Alabama, they decided that frozen embryos are children. So, as we know, several healthcare providers have already halted IVF programs, and also you can't move your embryos out of Alabama at this juncture, right? So, and the concern is if given that sometimes with IVF treatments, it may include discarding the fertilized eggs, that may now violate the state's wrongful death of a minor act. This is how we got here. Okay, I just want to set everybody back up. So, 125 House Republicans signed a Life Act Conception Act, co-sponsored, and that states that the term a human being includes all stages of life, including the moment of fertilization, cloning, or other moment at which an individual member of the human species comes into being. So that does not include an exception for IVF. Okay. Okay.
Yep.
So in the wake of the Alabama ruling, Republicans are what's your favorite expression? Pussy popping, backpedaling.
Oh, backpedaling, pussy popping.
That is what they are doing with the quickness, because look, these wealthy white Republicans are like, oh, hold up now.
Right.
They're like, I have used IVF, might plan to use it again soon.
Right.
I got some embryos in the fucking freezer somewhere. Stop playing. Y'all need to stop playing. So now they've been instructed by like the campaign arm. These are your talking points. We support IVF. Everybody get on this page. And yet you got 125 people who co-sponsored the bill that says, no, we're not fucking with IVF. Like your name is on there.
The thing that I think is kind of confusing here. So to me, here's you can play both sides of the field with this. You can support IVF and still support this.
Which one? Alabama ruling?
No, in Alabama. What I mean by this is you can support IVF. It just means you don't agree with destroying the embryos after the fact. But that's a conflict because the clinics that do IVF, if they have to treat embryos as human beings, again, the insurance, there are companies. Here's one thing. Look, I listened to, I finally remembered a podcast that I listened to. I was listening to The Daily today, and they interviewed a woman named Megan, and she's in Alabama. And Megan and her husband have gone through two IVF, two rounds of IVF. They hired a surrogate because Megan can't carry the child.
Mm-hmm.
$250,000 later.
Yep.
She was scheduled to have her embryos implanted last week on Friday.
Nigga, no.
They called her back today. So we're just checking up on you, Megan. Yeah, I called the hospital. The doctor said, unfortunately, we're gonna have to delay it, and it's. I mean, we can't do it. We can't do it. And so her surrogate has been hopped up on hormones for 3 weeks, waiting to have the embryos implanted.
Yep.
So they're asking her, so what are you gonna do? And she's like, well, we'd have to go through the whole process all over again. And she's like, and he's like, well, how does that make you feel? And she's like, everybody's disappointed. We were so happy about this. Now I don't know if I'm going to have a child or not. And I've already spent $250,000. And they also talked about the thing that's not really being spoken of. The guy interviewing her said, well, can you have your embryos shipped to another state? And you know what she said? She said, now the shipping companies don't want to take on the risk of shipping them, because if something happens, if they ship 10 embryos and it gets lost, they're liable for 10 deaths at that point.
We mentioned that on Friday. Remember?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, they hold the embryos hostage. You can't even get them out of Alabama.
Yeah, you can't do anything with them. So even if you were scheduled, even if you say, I promise to keep them frozen, all the leftovers, I ain't gonna leave none behind, they're not allowing you access because the clinics don't want to go near them, because if something goes wrong.
Embryos hostage.
Yeah. Yeah. Heartbreaking.
So, but I'm not even getting to the word hypocrisy again, because it's a bunch of Republicans who've done IVF. I'm not even getting to that.
Yeah.
It's like they have backed themselves into a corner.
Yeah.
And again, pointing to, but the fact that there's 125 House Republicans who have signed this goddamn bill, and yet those are the same ones out of their mouth today talking about, oh no, we're cool with IVF. No, you're not.
No, you're not.
Lying. You are lying. And so,
because we need them to say, because I heard Trump even say it, these stupid ass reindeer games y'all playing, you need to get on that stage and say, I support IVF, and I do not believe that embryos are human children. Unless you say that, you agreeing with all this crazy shit that's happening. It means you're against IVF.
They can't say that.
I know. The people need to be smart enough to know that they're playing a game, though. You can't have your cake and eat it too. Which one is it?
Say it again. The people need to do what now?
The people need to be smarter, and unfortunately,
Well, so here's what's happening, right? People who are part of the leopards eat my face, posse, now realizing that there's a leopard eating their face. And oh my God, I didn't think the leopards would actually eat my face. Yep. Like, yeah, this shit is affecting you as well, which is what I'm saying. You let them crazy people back in office, something gonna happen that's gonna touch you and fuck up your life, okay?
Yes.
Just trust and know this.
They can't even protect themselves.
And this is being said in the comments, and I was gonna say it too. So if embryos are children, and I got about 5 or 10 in the hopper, I get to claim it on my taxes, right? Like, what's up? What are you talking about? Right? Like, hello?
I know that's right.
If we want to take this out to its full out extent, then let's do it then.
Sarah, you a fool.
No, he did. He was talking about that.
He said put him in a carpool lane.
Embryo on board. Let's get Republicans what they want, okay? Okay.
Just stick it in an icy or something on the side in the cup holder.
Just get some ice. You know what I mean? Get your little container. Just drop them in there. Oh, Lord help me. Yes, and exactly what Tony said. The woman that you were who was sharing her account.
Mm-hmm.
Who did you vote for? You know what I mean? It's just like that's the question we want to ask. It's like, okay, who did you? Well,
yeah, I don't know. They didn't speak about that part, but yeah. I felt so bad for her.
I mean, as a person who has some eggs on ice, thankfully I'm in a free state at the moment. But I can't even. It just hurts my heart to think about. I do want to read a quote from Representative Byron Donalds, also, out of Florida, another Black lackey. So he said on Meet the Press yesterday, he said he fully supports IVF, which helps people create great families, which is what our country desperately needs, white families. The IVF procedure is very important to a lot of couples in our country. It helps them breed great families. Our country needs that. BREED. Quote, out of this Negro's mouth. Okay? He
That's
said it.
disgusting. That almost seemed. Oh, my light. That's. No, it didn't. I don't know what that was. I saw a light switch. At any rate, it's a ghost in here or some shit. Whenever I hear breed, I think of slave drivers, and I immediately go when you're talking about humans.
You had a black man say it.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
Look, more things that should happen. Folks should file kidnapping charges in the criminal courts. Sarah, I know that's right.
Yeah.
Look, hey, I
Get
don't
creative
anymore, but I will help you set up this process. Okay, like
Sarah, you dangerous.
That has to at least be false imprisonment.
Yeah. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Right. Yeah, Tony said the addition of play stupid games and win stupid prizes don't end. It don't end. Jason said they didn't know that pressure busts pipes and fat meats greasy. They're about to find out. Oh my god! Lisa's watching. Lisa's out living her best life right now. I didn't know she was gonna be tuning in. Okay. God help me. Look, Sarah said unleash my ass. I mean, I'm down for it. Okay, so also in issues you might want to care about. There is a Missouri law. Look at this. If you happen to be a pregnant married lady in Missouri, you can't get a divorce until the baby arrives.
That's crazy.
That's just where we are right now. Also, Texas, Arizona, and Arkansas have similar laws. Okay. So in Missouri, you can still file for divorce, but the court has to wait until the baby is born in order to finalize child custody and child support. The fuck? The DNA ain't gonna change. This is some bullshit. This is some straight bullshit. I got some stats. Missouri's Department of Health and Senior Services says out of 10,098 women surveyed, this was between 2007 and 2014, nearly 5% were abused either before or during pregnancy. That equates to about 500 women.
So I guess those 500 women don't matter.
No. They're saying you can file.
It's only 500. It's only 500.
That's it. And you can file and you can I guess try and get out of the house somehow. Like, good luck. But you can't officially be divorced.
And I didn't even know it was a thing. I forget the term that they kept using, but they basically were saying abusers will keep their wives pregnant in order to
reproductive abuse or something like that.
Yeah. And I'm like, man, people are fucked up. But I wasn't shocked. Yeah, abusive men can do some really engage in really heinous acts. And when you remove resources from a woman when she's being abused, you keep her in a cycle of abuse, and that's what they're trying to do here.
Because they also, the religious fanatics, Mike Johnson and them, also trying to do away with no-fault divorce, right? They literally are trying to keep you barefoot and pregnant and in shackles. That is what they are working toward, okay? So, yes, Sarah, we literally have less rights than dogs in this country, okay?
Yeah.
Sarah is crazy. She said, get that embryo line of credit.
Wait, no. Niggas go start putting embryo names on their light bill.
This is what I'm talking about.
Girl, I know you ran it up. Just pull that embryo out, girl. Get a new bill. Say somebody new moved in, girl.
Right. Can we get some Social Security numbers for these embryos? What are we talking about? Yes, and here's the sad part. Caitlyn and Brittany still gonna vote Republican because the blacks and the illegals. And Caitlyn and Brittany deserve them to be in Gilead. I don't want to though, okay? I don't want to be there with them. That's the sad part. Okay, so also in things you should know about, and in terms of ending up democracy issues you should care about, the new Tennessee law that says, so Governor Bill Lee signed a new law Wednesday that will allow public officials in the state to refuse to perform marriages if doing so goes against their beliefs. Right. And before, if you were a religious figure, could have refused to do it. But now it's judges, county clerks, government officials. You could just say, this goes against my religion. I don't want to do it. So the bill is effective immediately. Like, no waiting period. Like, this is the law now.
I feel like this isn't really going to change a lot of things, though, because if you're engaging in a same-sex marriage ceremony, you want someone there who supports
Yeah.
your union. So I think this is something that makes them feel like we're obligated to
We're doing
perform these.
something.
But it's like, what nobody finna call your stupid ass anyway to perform the ceremony because you have hate in your heart, and
That
nobody
part.
wants that on their special day.
And
But
so,
yeah, it doesn't prevent the actual marriage licenses though. You can still apply for marriage.
right, I was just about to say, you can still obtain marriage license, and to your point, you can still get someone else who actually is supportive of this union to perform
Yeah.
a ceremony.
Fuck
Some
them.
stats: support for same-sex marriages remains at an all-time high in the United States, with 71% of Americans. And then
Yeah.
even among Republicans, though, it's like 49% favor same-sex marriages,
Yeah.
half, right? So again, while y'all here fucking with people, it's just small group of like religious fanatics, zealots, I guess God is sitting on your porch looking at you.
They're
Hell and
perfect.
damn.
They're perfect in every way. They're not eating shellfish. They're not telling any lies. They're honoring their parents. They're doing all the things. They keeping the Sabbath holy. They're not having premarital sex. They're not using the pull-out method. They're not doing any of these things in the Bible. Oh, don't spill that seed, girl. You're going to hell. You're going to
So,
hell. Yeah,
absolutely, you are.
they're
Tony
following
is
all
in,
the rules.
Tony is in Tennessee. He said there might be a window where people can't get a license, because that is what they're ultimately trying to get to.
Yeah, that's what they're trying to get to. Yes,
Yeah,
for
that
sure.
is what they want. And the Supreme Court, given the opportunity, will overturn same-sex marriage.
Yeah.
Right? Just understand this. This is not
They definitely
hyperbole.
will.
They will overturn same-sex marriages. Trust. Know this. So again, what y'all doing out here? Also, issues you might want to know about, care about. Texas and 30, wait, no, what is it? Yeah. So total of 35 states will participate in a $2.5 billion federal nutrition program. Okay. It will help low-income parents buy groceries for their children when free school meals are not available during the summer months. But in Texas, 3.8 million children eligible for the program. Texas said, fuck them kids. Okay. Texas and 14 other states were like, no, we good. And their rationale is, we wouldn't have time to get the program up and running.
How do you vote these officials in the office? Now they fucking with kids. And to me, this has more of a socioeconomic tinge to it, ring to it, more than anything else, because this actually affects more white kids than black kids, kids of color. Because if you look at the welfare system overall, not just percentage wise, obviously percentage wise, we're a bigger part of the system, but sheer numbers, this affects more poor white kids than anybody else. So you turn it on your own. I don't understand it.
Also, what doesn't make sense? You out here forcing women to have children, forcing them, right? And now it's hey, can we get some help feeding them?
Yeah.
No. Mm-mm. Sorry to y'all. Good luck.
It's a lot of confusing, because even with the abortion thing, it's like, okay, you're against abortion. You're also against people trying to have kids with IVF. Which one is it? Like, you can't never make your mind up.
No, they had that issue to run on for years.
Yeah.
Now they got it. They
winning.
They are like, well, this and now that, but no. Hypocrites, and you need to leave people alone, okay? Y'all the main ones talking about freedom. Where? For who? For you, period. Right? Because that's the other thing too. Wealthy people gonna do whatever fuck they need to do.
Exactly. They'll go out of the country, do whatever. They can afford that.
Always.
But the other thing too is, all of these things are related. It's like, IVF is a complicated situation in terms of the reasoning why infertility is so high. But infertility, trust me on this, when you look at what's happening globally with pollution and things that are happening with the food supply, these things that are being compromised because we don't want to hold stress. We don't want to hold corporations to task for the things that they are doing to us. They're polluting the atmosphere. They're putting all this bullshit in the food. All these things contribute to infertility. And the right supports these things.
The number of hours you got to work just to have like a modicum of a roof over your head.
Yes.
All of this stuff takes a toll on a woman's body.
Yes. No vacation. You get 5 days, no sick leave. You know, you got to pay a shitload for health coverage.
Don't let
All
you have
these
a job where you standing on your feet all damn day.
Yeah. So you can't say you support these things without having a foundation by which to support them.
And
you're standing on nothing. You're not standing on any business.
You know what I'm always yelling about? Ain't no universal child care. Y'all, there's no mandatory paid maternity leave. Y'all, paternity leave. Y'all like, what the fuck is that? Like, y'all, this country is not set up to support women to have children. And we got the highest maternal mortality rates.
Yes.
What are we doing? Again, please do not, if you got somebody in your family who's talking crazy about the voting part, just sit them down. Buy them, I don't know, buy them some ice cream. I don't know. Just
I'm trying to get some people into some fights, Crescent.
I said buy them some ice cream, have a calm conversation. A calm one, okay? Not me yelling.
It's gonna take more than ice cream for me to sit down with some of these niggas and convince
weed,
them.
gummies, whatever.
You know what? Weed might work.
Just, hey, know your audience. That's all I'm saying, okay? Know who you're dealing with, okay?
Weed might work.
Know who you working with.
Weed might could work.
So God needs to start smiting people again. Okay. We did not cover this. The 16-year-old non-binary student, Nex Benedict, died following an attack by some other girls at her school.
Well, wait. We got to say at their school. We got to use the pronouns.
Sorry. Thank you. No, it's funny because I have that note in here. And
Crescent, it's hard. They know our hearts are in the right place, so it's not a problem.
I am feeling for this, for them. Trust me.
Yes. Yeah.
So they were attacked by other girls at the school, Sounds like murder to me, but allegedly right now. So 3 older girls ganged up on Benedict in a bathroom at the school, banged their head against the floor, which may have caused them to black out. And then they died in the hospital a day later. So this has been, this I think started, we found out about it, I think like last week. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to circle back to the investigation. But in the midst of this, there was a woman in the audience at a legislative forum. And so this is the question she asked. Why does the legislature have such an obsession with the LGBTQ citizens of Oklahoma and what people do in their personal lives and how they raise their children? Valid question. Completely valid question. State Senator Tom Woods says, and I quote, "I represent a constituency that doesn't want that filth in Oklahoma."
What an evil thing to say.
Horrible.
What an evil thing to say when a child has. I just, y'all putting these people in the office. I can't respect a person that moves like that. It's disgusting.
At all. And so with regard to the investigation, sounds like the police might be trying to cover it up. Because again, sounds like murder. In fact, one of the recaps, one of the articles I read did mention there was an exploration of felony murder. But right now, preliminary information from medical examiner's office says that a complete autopsy was performed and indicated that the decedent did not die as a result of trauma. Further comments, though, said that the cause of death are still pending until more tests are covered. Of course, their mother is like, I don't believe nothing y'all motherfucking saying. Right?
Yeah. And then, you're not in the right place. You're not in the right place to even trust any of this. It is a strange situation because they did go home and then, they appeared to be okay. And then initially.
But then the mother said that their eyes started rolling in the back of their head and their fists were like, like she could tell something was wrong. And that's why she took her child to the hospital. And the last conversation that they had was in the hospital next day. Nex said that they got jumped and they were asked why didn't they report it, and they said didn't see the point of reporting it. She was like, I know where I'm at. I know it's what was going to be the point.
Girl, you definitely handled that pronoun situation, because I would have fucked that up left and right, because I have never been in a position to have to do it. I applaud you for that. Definitely.
The notes. The bullying began shortly after Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stitt signed a bill that prohibits transgender public school students from using the bathroom that matches their gender identity. That's what the mom said. Like, apparently, Nex had been basically kind of living their life, and then this law was passed, and here we go. Now they are dead. So I'm just so tired of these people. It's horrible.
This is what, I just, something that I was having a conversation with a friend, and they were explaining, I just, these pronouns and all this other shit, like, it's confusing, it's inconvenient, blah blah blah. And I told them, I said, you know what, it is an inconvenience, but if using a fucking pronoun, if I have to be inconvenienced by choosing a pronoun to validate someone as a human being, then I'd rather be inconvenienced. And what I don't like is that all of us want to be validated. We want to be validated as niggas. We want to be validated as Americans. We want to be validated as men, as women, as leaders, as educated. Everybody wants to be validated in some way. And I just hope that these people who don't think that, I hope that when these people need validation, that they are given the same grace that they are not given to these others.
No, because look, as Danielle said, who's raising these feral motherfuckers? But that's just it, right? Like, you are in a hateful environment.
Yeah.
You've been fed all this bullshit. So no, you're not loved, because there's not love in that household.
No.
Right? There is no validation of who you are.
Yeah.
And whatever that looks like. And the thing with the pronouns, because I mean, my friends have kids whose pronouns are changing. And again, the challenge is when you've known someone since like their birth, and they had a certain pronoun until like 18, and now you're like, okay, I just give me a beat, just let me, just because again, whatever you want to be called, I'm totally in support of that. No skin off my back. If that's, like,
well, they have to give you grace as well. And that's what I think the difference is, when you have people who will say, I see YouTubers, and it's unfortunately, niggas are really bad about it.
Yeah.
Girl, I'm calling, I'm gonna use what I said with a blah, 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 blah. Yeah, it's, like you said, it's like but I guess the point I'm trying to make here is, when a person knows when you're trying to validate them. So if you are speaking to someone and you make a mistake, they're not going to read you for filth. It's like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm trying here. They recognize that. But you have people who literally say, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it. Fuck you. Where I'm from, you are A, B, and C. That's how a lot of people are. And I just think that's terrible.
It is horrible. I will say this, though, because again, friends with kids, the youngers they have no tolerance for like seeming like disrespect, right? So you can get yelled at super quick by one of these 17-year-olds. It's like, okay, I'm gonna need you to just be a little patient with me, all right? Like, just be patient. But
I'll check a person. I'll check, I'll be like, I'm trying, and you know what? You gonna have to fucking try too. So I will do that. I love you a lot, but you got to give me some love too and some grace. So let's work together.
Right. Look, and Jason said, we learn brand new slang and tech terms every few months. We can learn how to use respectful pronouns. I know that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. And Ife said, I just say their first name. Like, there's ways to like work with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. Okay. Just was trying to catch up. So moving on. Okay. So these Michigan voters. And to be honest with you, I can't. This just fucking made my head hurt. So there was a focus group with some Michigan voters, and I'm just gonna say this: one of the key issues is the Israel-Gaza mess. Okay, it's just fucking terribleness happening in the Middle East, and just angry and basically like fuck Biden. But they were asked, okay, so Trump worse, right? Like, that was there was a pushback on like, okay, so you either not voting. Yeah, that was the main thing, because they're not necessarily trying to vote for Trump. That's not what they're saying. They're just like, we're not going to vote.
Right.
And so with the pushback, their response was, maybe we need to punish Joe Biden, making him a one-term president. Maybe we just need to feel this pain for 4 years.
So I'm gonna point out a couple things, and I'm gonna tell y'all about something that I learned about that I was ignorant about that speaks to this. So we need to understand this happened in Michigan. Michigan has the highest percentage of Arab Americans in the country.
Mm-hmm.
The only state that has more by numbers, but not by percentage, is California. California has over 300,000 Arab Americans, but they are less than 1% of our population. In Michigan, the number is like 211,000, but it's 2.1% of their population. So, given that, they're going to have a stronger connection to what's happening over there, just from ethnically, culturally. They're going to feel that in their hearts in a different way. Mm-hmm. So, I do understand why they feel the way that they feel.
Oh, I understand the frustration. Absolutely.
But this is very important. There's something called the Abraham Accords that occurred during the Trump presidency. I haven't heard anybody mentioning this. The Abraham Accords are essentially, they are treaties that were spearheaded by the Trump administration. A treaty to normalize relations between major Arab countries and Israel. The four that are part of the Abraham Accords are United Arab Emirates, Bahrain, Sudan, and Morocco.
Okay.
So by normalization, it means not to be in a perpetual state of dislike or conflict with someone.
Okay.
So, and the only two countries that essentially had somewhat of a decent relationship, only other two Arab countries before the Abraham Accords, it was Egypt and Jordan. And a lot of that has to do with geographics, because Egypt is even right now, a lot of we're going to call them refugees, even though they're on their land. A lot of the Palestinian refugees are trying to get into Egypt.
Right.
So what a lot of experts who know more about this than the two of us with expensive ass degrees, or probably anybody watching this right now, experts say, a lot of experts believe that those Abraham Accords are directly connected to what happened on October 7th. You know why? Because Trump sat there and created a financial, economic relationship between all these Arab countries and didn't do anything for the Palestinians. The Palestinians, after these Abraham Accords, were isolated by themselves. And think about this. Now Egypt had a relationship with Israel. You got Palestinian refugees trying to get into Egypt to escape bombings. Egypt is kind of like, we kind of got a relationship with Israel and you motherfuckers are problematic. So we're not really trying to mess up this system that we have.
But also,
and when this shit happened,
we let y'all in last time and we can't get rid of some of y'all. So we're not interested in actually letting
exactly.
So there's that too.
Exactly. So when these Abraham Accords happened, this happened in 2020. These Abraham Accords happened. Palestinian leaders immediately said, fuck all of y'all. Y'all are traitors. Y'all went behind our backs. Y'all know we're sitting here in the belly of the beast, and y'all let this motherfucker come along, and y'all all negotiating with our oppressors.
Mm-hmm.
And now you are reaping financial benefits. Y'all let people come and visit. They can visit you. And we are sitting here being completely disenfranchised. It's like, nigga, you just got a financial come up and we don't have clean water. Those accords should have never been negotiated without Palestine. You cannot remove them from that discussion. It then creates a more incendiary situation for them, because you are now essentially removing any alliances they could have possibly had with their Arab cousins. So I say all this because if you think that Trump is going to care about the Palestinians, he is part of the reason that all of this shit happened in the first place. It's all about money. So despite the fact that people are saying they want to punish Biden and this, that, and the third, Biden at least gives you a glimmer of hope. Biden has actually been saying, yeah, this shit is getting out of control. We gonna have to have a talk. They're trying to make negotiations for ceasefires. Trump would not do any of that. He doesn't care about the Palestinians.
That's another point. So everything you said, right? And again, but that's what, when we said we were going to try and do a conversation like about this crisis, it's information like that, right? That is very important for people who claim to care about this issue to be aware of. Remember, and I've mentioned this before, Netanyahu, maybe not him personally, but people in his orbit, in his government, got wind of an attack a year prior that outlined exactly what the plan was going to be, and they fucking disregarded it. Also, Netanyahu ain't never wanted a two-state solution. Not man time. You've had other Democratic presidents who have said this is what needs to happen. But when motherfuckers like Netanyahu are in office, and again, he got back in office to avoid going to jail. Sounds familiar, right? Yep. He's like, he ain't never been in support of that. So you are Biden. This current administration is arguing with a madman. And exactly what Antoine said and what we said before. Trump would have told them, bomb it, make it all rubble, take it over. So this cutting off your nose to spite your face, for what? So punishing America because you pissed off about what's happening in the Middle East right now, it is a complex situation. And as Antoine said, the White House has been working on, Biden. Trump has been working on, God damn it. Biden has been working on a 6-week temporary ceasefire for over a month. For over a month. But Hamas and Israel have to agree for it to happen. Y'all act like it's our war. It's not. It is not our war. We are doing what we can. And again, good or bad, those are our allies in the Middle East. Good or bad, those are our allies. Right?
And for me, honestly, I don't think we're doing enough. I think, we're
doing more.
With the financial support we're giving, like I don't agree with how we're handling this. But if there were ever a lesser of two evils in terms of lives, I don't want to diminish the value of the lives that have already been lost. This is all fucked up. But at least there is a potential pathway to ending this with President Biden. There is not one with Trump because he is part of the reason that all this fucking happened in the first place.
So
that's all I can say about that.
Yeah, he's definitely a big aspect of the reason.
And look. Saudi Arabia is potentially in talks to have their own Abraham Accord with Israel as well. So they are trying to completely isolate the Palestinians so that they don't have any support within the Arab world. Because who's gonna fuck with them if all these Arab countries have financial incentives to deal with Israel? They're putting their differences aside because everybody's winning. It's fucked up. Really fucked up.
Just noting, so Sarah is like talking about, I don't want to pay taxes anymore. Paying taxes that can be used for genocide, I don't like it. And even Jason's like, it's not complex. Jason said, when we send tens of billions to fund the war, it is our war. Well, and here's the thing, aspects, but I understand why you say that totally. And we lost American soldiers in the Red Sea because shit is happening over there, right? So we have a level of involvement. So we are involved, but we have to be a part of this. We cannot not be a part of it. Now, it can be handled better, sure, absolutely. But look, people who understand this, have studied it, it is their job to try and figure out what to do, are working on it. It's not like Biden's over here not trying to do anything. Like, the shit is complicated. The shit is a mess. I mean, period. And so I don't know what it looks like if we say, no, we're not giving you any money. So then our soldiers keep getting bombed, but they're trying to protect the Red Sea. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how this is actually supposed to fucking shake out.
I think the no winning the argument is the people that, while we're trying to figure it out, the people consistently starving to death of thirst.
Over 30,000 people dead.
And I guess there's no way to, there's no way to politicize that. No matter what we say about our relationships, it's fucked up.
It is fucked up.
Fucked up.
It is.
But it would be worse under Trump. That's
This is what
that's
I'm
the only
saying.
thing I'm trying to say. I agree with everything y'all are saying in the comments. All I can say is that based on what I've learned about these accords, the fact that Trump seems to be, in terms of pointing a finger at somebody with a smoking gun, it seems like he created a situation, perhaps in cahoots, I don't know this, to eradicate these people in a genocide. So, based on that, all I can say is we mishandled this. We're not even handling it the best that we probably could because of a lot of things that I think aren't right. But again, given one or the other, the one may have started it. The other one is over here potentially trying to work with them on it. I don't know. That's all I can say on it.
So also, like, the Biden administration has been sending people nonstop, surrogates, and Biden himself went to Michigan, although I don't think I don't know if he's met with that group yet, but he's been sending people to meet with people who have been clear about how they feel about this, which is what you want, right? And so at least there is an administration that is trying to hear you out, trying to understand where you're coming from, potentially probably share with you, these are what the plans are. This is what we're trying to get done. This is who we're dealing with. This is what we're up against. Trump wouldn't give a fuck. You just be on your own. So
No,
again,
absolutely not.
I don't know what it looks like if Biden just said, unless you do a ceasefire, we're not giving you any money. I don't know what that looks like. Maybe that is what should happen. I don't know. I'm gonna say this ain't my lane. Okay. I'm just aware of certain aspects of this that lets me know it is way more kind of complicated and nuanced than I'm prepared to like have a real intelligent conversation about. But I will say this: I get that the current administration is trying to figure out what to do. They're not trying to do anything.
That's true.
And again, people want to mess around and let the other motherfucker back in office. Hey, we're in election year. The fucking election is in November. He could be back in the White House in January of next year. All bets are off. There will not be a 4 years of like something bad. There will not be another election. And again, I know I've said this. I'm gonna say it damn near every time we probably talk about it. This is not hyperbole. We will not have another election. We will not have another election.
Yeah.
We will not have another election. There will be a national ban. They're trying to destroy the Constitution. They have said all the things they're planning to do.
Well, what I think is also scary in reference to our Palestinian brothers and sisters is that, because I found out recently, again, because I'm not, again, this is one of those situations here in America. You speak your mind, you can lose your job, all kinds of shit, right? But apparently they were also very supportive of Black Lives Matter. They were holding protests and shit over in Palestine. I heard something about that a couple weeks ago.
Oh yeah, no,
so they were in solidarity with us.
Absolutely,
but
yeah.
What I think is the most disgusting part of this is that, from my perspective, learning what I just learned about all these with these accords, part of the reason that Trump is willing to hang the Palestinians out to dry is because he doesn't see any financial value.
Oh, I can see that. Yeah, absolutely.
You get what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, and it's almost like, with the other Arab nations kind of just, turning their backs on them. It's like y'all had a luxury of saying, this is my land. I live here. Our culture has gone back thousands of years in this place where my grandfather died, where my great-grandfather is buried. We don't have that here. Like, can you throw us a line? Like, come on. And to just hang them out to dry knowing they don't have any resources, like, that shit is gangster as fuck. That is gangster as fuck to just leave them hanging there knowing what that means. And to think that a lot of it has to do with money because they don't have a strong financial standing in the international community. We're not supposed to stand for shit like it's disgusting.
No, it is horrible. It is like, and I've in person talked to a couple people, who have friends who are like, oh, the Zionist hardcore pro-Israel. And I'm like, if we just even talk about the numbers, right? Like,
yes,
the number that died on October 7th versus the 30,000 plus that have died now.
Because
and their hostages, they still got hostages. We don't have the hostages back.
If I could even, one more thing, imagine if this would be fucked up. I don't know this to be true. Y'all know I'm not typically a conspiracy theorist. But when you look at the Abraham Accords, and then you look at what happened on October 7th,
Mm-hmm.
when you think about the hate and how, to a certain extent, one person wants to eradicate the other one. One has a lot more resources to do it to the other one. Some could argue that Netanyahu wanted this to happen as an excuse.
No, that's not a conspiracy theory. That has been floated out there. Go ahead. Keep going.
Yeah, it's like, if we gotta let that happen to a few people so that we could go out here and completely eradicate them in a genocide, it can be argued that this is what he wanted, and that's disgusting.
But that's one of the, I don't want to say theories. I forgot, again, this is what I meant by, like, at some point we're gonna, like, pull together a lot of different resources to have like a full conversation about this. But since we're talking about it right now, that I read about secretly allowing Hamas to continue to gain power and stay propped up so that they would not have to deal with the Palestinian Authority, who was working toward this two-state solution.
Yes.
So that is out there. That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of levels to this while we screaming about Biden administration. Netanyahu got blood on his hands.
Oh,
period.
definitely.
Like, he is Trump just over there. So
yeah.
There's a lot of levels and layers to this that are all around fucked up, because you do have over 30,000 people dead. Now, you also got genocide going off in Congo, but hey, who cares about that, right? Like, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, the world is a fucked up ass place. So
it is.
I mean, and I think we just trying to hold on to our democracy a little bit longer. Again, nice country, be shamed if you lost it. Okay.
Well, but when the thing I've been telling people, it's without going into too much detail, it's, for me, and I can't remember if I mentioned this on the show or not. Y'all tell me if I have, but when I think about manifest destiny, as a Negro, and my best friend in college was Native American. I used to go to powwows on a reservation. I used to eat fry bread. It was good. They have the ceremony where the feather can't touch the ground, and as a person as a descendant of slaves, the idea that, when somebody shows up and says, this land belongs to me because God said so, that's very dangerous to me. And I'm not going to make excuses for it. They did the same thing here. They said manifest destiny was the expansion of democracy and capitalism in the name of God. That's how you can justify the Trail of Tears and doing what you did to niggas. And the modern version
of it is eminent domain. But keep going.
Yeah. So when I think about Israel, somebody showing up to a place where people been for thousands of years and saying, hey, this book says this land belongs to us. To me, that's no different from manifest destiny. Because if you don't believe in that book, why would you feel obligated to leave the land? And then, you throw in, it's like, hey, y'all got to leave. No, we not leaving. It's like, y'all, we got this friend with a whole bunch of gunpowder. Do y'all know what gunpowder is? Do y'all know what missiles are? Do y'all know what guns are? Do y'all have as many as we have? And the idea, white people love throwing undesirables in the motherfucking projects. The Gaza is the projects. The projects are the projects, and Indian reservations are the projects. All three of them are versions of the fucking projects. We gonna move you undesirable somewhere else. So y'all already know where I stand on this. That's about as far as much as I'm gonna say. But the thing I think that just makes this so much crazier is because it has such a religious aspect to it.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's like a promise,
Yeah, no.
How unfair that is for people who don't participate in that particular religion, and we allow, it's all kinds of religions floating all over the world. So yeah, don't get me started.
So on a lighter note, Antoine and I were talking before we started the show, and I was like, I'm sorry, all these topics are very depressing.
They are.
I was looking for some positivity somewhere. Bev is in the chat. And Beverly, I just want to quickly shout out from a post, 72nd and Sunny. We are ecstatic to share Zillow's Beverly Jackson has been recognized as on Campaign US's 2024 Inspiring Women list in the category Breaking Brand Barriers. Beverly is a true standout figure in the marketing landscape as a leader who pushes the boundaries, leads with purpose, and drives real impact. We are so proud to work with her and learn from her. Black excellence. That's right.
Awesome. Yes, I know that's right.
Also, actually, I'm like, when Beverly enters the chat, the world takes notice. She is fearless, a force for good, and truly one of a kind. Everywhere she goes, she pushes brands to their next level by helping them realize their full potential. Can you work with us, Beverly?
I was about to say, why ain't we working with Bev?
And she does all of this while supporting and lifting up the teams around her to be the best that they possibly can be.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. That is amazing. We are proud of you, girl.
Thank you, Bev. Yay, go Bev. So it's funny because I commented on the post and I was like, yay. And then after Friday's episode, she was like, I thought I was going to get a shout out. I was like, oh, Monday. We shouting you out. She was like, I was just playing. No.
We got to recognize excellence.
This is what I'm saying. And we needed, look, I didn't have a Black excellence article on here. So I was like,
something positive.
I was like, we doing a shout out to Bev tonight. So yay, go Militia. We so dope. Okay. Okay, wait. Did Bev say stop? Bev said stop. Too late. Sorry.
She put stop. Look, them lowercase letters.
I'm leaving. You can't leave. Too late. See? Everybody's excited. The militia is excited. We are.
We got to celebrate each other.
That's what I'm talking about.
Nobody else gonna do it.
Right. CJ said, go Bev, marketing maven, marketing mother. Right. That's right. Yay. I think Bev did leave the chat. Bev. I'm like, no, stick around. Okay. I do want to, fuck it. Let's just finish. Where I got it. This comment is in my, look, you know me in this system.
Is it doing what it do?
There's a comment that I'm like, I can't get rid of and it's blocking your face. Okay, I don't know how to make this go away. All right. Well,
what is it doing?
So it's like if I click on something I'm not supposed to click on, the comment pops up that's across like our screens.
Oh, well, you know what? Pull it up real quick. Since it ain't gonna hurt nothing. Just pull it up so I can see what it looks like on my end.
I'm trying. Okay, wait. It's a comment from Tony. Okay, wait. It's a lot. Look, the chat is lit tonight. Okay,
I know it's a lot in here.
Okay, wait. Where is it? Look, Lisa said, "Oh my God, Earth is ghetto." I meant to highlight that one. Okay. This is it, and I can't get it.
Is it there ain't no joy or sunshine at the moment?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's displaying properly. I think it's just looking weird on your end.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's covering your face. Like it's a big version of it superimposed.
It's not though.
It is on my end. That's what I'm saying. I can't see your face.
Oh, okay. Well, you don't have to see my face when you pull it up. Just pull it up.
I can't make it go away. That's the issue. Like, that's my problem. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, that's why we switching platforms in the middle of March. End of the first week in March.
Okay. This is the last go round and we're done. So, we've been keeping up with Killer Mike and his fuck shit commentary. So,
wait, if I could brighten your day a little bit.
Please. Like, if
I didn't know he was that big.
Okay, so it just don't look healthy. I know I said a couple other things about it, like Friday. I think it was Friday. I was a little aggressive because I too don't like commenting on people's weight. But you out here like shitting on little black boys' dreams, so I'm sorry. You had to comment.
Oh, hey! I was not chastising you. You said what the fuck you said, nigga.
Oh, I know you good. I know you're good with it.
When people, unfortunately, when it's human nature, when somebody Look, I feel like, it almost feel like I'm justifying white people calling us niggas when they get mad at us. I'm not saying that. But there are universal tropes that transcend race that everybody relies on when they're trying to insult somebody. So when somebody acting out of pocket, we do make comments about what they look like.
It is. No, it's a part of it. It's a
Yeah,
part of the
we
process.
do.
And you know what? It doesn't look healthy. How about that?
Yeah.
Just
So we're bringing
don't look.
somebody down to earth. It's like you thought you was too good for blah blah blah. You thought you was too good for Stacy. You over here hanging around with the Kemps and shit, feeling yourself. Well, guess what? You look stank.
Taking pictures under a plantation, taking pictures under a photo of a portrait of a plantation. That's what you did. You did that.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yes. So London said hi to me earlier, but she's asleep now. Sorry, my bad. Because I was like, is she listening? Because you know I be cussing. Sorry. So when she wakes up, Danielle, please tell London I said hi. I don't. Do we not? Can y'all not still hear us? I don't know what that means.
From who? No sound from either one of us?
It doesn't look like it. Nobody texted me, so I don't.
Oh, somebody just texted me. That must be Dan. Oh, wait a minute. Hold up.
Oh, Sarah said your sound is going out when you put up stuff on the screen.
What is?
Mugs. Evie Mugs.
Y'all, I'm gonna be right back. I gotta check on my car.
What the? Okay.
Somebody just texted me in my apartment about my car. I'll be right back.
Oh Lord Jesus. Okay. Sorry. Okay, I'm seeing the comments now. So this is why we're switching platforms again, because when we try and like give y'all some graphics and some, like welcome to the Madness Collective. We try and give y'all some graphics. This shit goes sideways. Okay, so right. Sarah said, you better look perfect. You gonna walk around acting that ignorant. I know that's right. Tony said, outside is wide as Killer Mike instead of the other way around. Karen noted, part of the dozens, that's our heritage. CJ said, remember when Nancy Pelosi called Trump morbidly obese? Got it. Okay, yeah, sorry, tech issues. No, okay, all right, okay. Yes, we are back. Sorry, I'm just reading. Beth said, I love Monday night. Madness Collective. This is what we. Oh, yes, Sarah. I'm sorry. I had my phone down because somebody called me right before we were getting started. And then I was like, oh, I should probably have that because I know how y'all do. You and Tony be texting me. Thank y'all. Thank you. Yeah, CJ, right? Look at the bongos on Antoine's show because he is gone. And yeah, his apartment is really like dope. It's very nicely set up. Dion said, country is ghetto, earth is ghetto, the streaming platform is ghetto. And it's not supposed to be. That was the whole point. Like, it's like it's supposed to allow us to have all these like bells and whistles and do cool shit. You see Dion's comment?
I'm sorry. So what? I'm sorry. So can they hear me now?
Yes.
What? I'll find out what happened when I rewatch. No, my neighbor texted me and said it was a Prius out front making a sound, and I was like, "Did I leave my car on?" And and it's making a noise.
Oh, my mom called.
Yeah, so it was fine. Let me respond to her. Y'all keep talking.
Okay. Well, they love when you got up, everybody could see your bookshelves, the bookcase, and all the stuff.
Oh, thank you.
They were talking about the bongos. Sarah said that whole shelf is a vibe. It was a whole vibe.
Thanks.
Yeah, CJ was all up in your shelf. I need you to see Dion's comment though.
Okay. I text him. What country is ghetto, earth is ghetto, the streaming platform is ghetto. The fuck.
Madness Collective. Woo, woo, woo. Okay. Wait. Danielle said to CJ, I read that bongos on his shelf very differently. Oop. Okay, so since we just like fucking around, but we're gonna get to Killer Mike. We're gonna get back to him, and we're not gonna show any more pictures because clearly that fucks us all up. But
that's the last picture I got anyway.
Bev said my dream is to do the show live in person because baby facts, and we gonna get there. We gonna get there. Okay, so the tweet that I saw first was Jason Johnson. So he's on MSNBC. He's actually friends with another friend of mine who's on MSNBC a lot. So I met him recently-ish. Love him. got into a little bit of trouble like a year or two ago. He had to take a step back from MSNBC. I think was it during the 2020 election? I don't know. But anyway, he's on there a lot. I fucks with him. So this is what I read. Hey, at Killer Mike, I did not call you a Trump surrogate this morning. Go back and actually watch the clip. Happy to talk this out directly anytime. So I'm like, oh, what did I miss?
Right.
So on the 24th, this is Killer Mike's tweet. Someone tell this liar I am not a Trump surrogate. It takes an evil amount of willful ignorance and arrogance to lie like this to people. Shame on you, liar. Whoever raised you to lie should be ashamed. Have good day, y'all. I'm reading, okay?
Yeah.
Stand on truth, even in disagreement. Don't lie. And remember, he kept saying to Sonny, don't lie on me, right? So then that was the first tweet. Follow-up tweet from Killer Mike. And the liar is at Dr. Jason Johnson. As an educator and Black man, you do us all a disservice to lie in an attempt to slander me. You only prove yourself to be disgraceful and disgusting. To disagree is not a wrong, but to lie and slander in your disagreement is, sir, do better. So I'm going to read what Jason's quote was. So he's on one of the Saturday shows with, I think it's Simone Sanders, is it Jen Psaki and or maybe not Jen? It's three of them. I'm drawing.
I don't think it's Jen because Jen got her own show. Right?
Show. Yeah, it's three of them though. Michael, the former RNC chair, and then there's
Michael Steele. Michael
Steele, yeah. Simone Sanders, and I'm drawing a blank on the third person. So there's what Jason said. They were talking obviously about the election, blah, 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 and people saying things that they're saying. So he says, it ain't about switching votes. Donald Trump, Killer Mike, any of his surrogates, any rapper he got out of jail, it's about keeping people home from the election polls. That's what was said.
I mean, it still didn't paint Killer Mike in a good light, so I think that's why he felt some type of way about it.
Hit dog hollered, right? And so then, he did follow up because remember Jason said you need to go back and hear what I said. I didn't right. call you a Trump surrogate, right?
Right.
So then this is what Killer Mike put out. He said, I watched. You put my name too close to Trump surrogate. Those who don't like me will use that to slander me. I actually don't need to use that to slander you. Your own words can slander you. Your motherfucking self.
Yeah.
Right? He said those who don't understand will assume the worst.
This is why y'all shouldn't be listening to this nigga.
I simply ask, don't put me in that name or this race in that way. Love and respect. I'm always welcome to speak. Again.
No, I mean, these educated Black pundits are turning on this man. That's why he has to keep defending himself. And you know what? You don't put that energy out if you don't want to get the smoke. You've been running around on a fucking tour, running your goddamn mouth, not knowing what the fuck you talking about, and now the chickens are coming home to roost. I'm glad people are calling you out. I think we called you out before everybody else did, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, you know what it is, Antoine, is this election we learned from 2016. We have learned from 2020. Nobody is standing for you motherfuckers out here doing this equivocating and talking about what has Biden done for us? What has Biden done for the Black community? Stop it. This is I'm sorry, the election is too important. It really is. For y'all to be out here talking reckless with y'all huge platforms. It's too serious.
Yeah.
No. And also, ain't nobody scared of you.
No.
Right? Because you out here standing on dumb shit. You not standing on business. And again, your own words. You sitting here talking to young Black kids telling them don't dream too big. You did that.
Yeah.
You said that.
I would respect him more if I would respect him more if he were one of these people that were like, if he was walking around saying, look, and I know it's not what we need right now, but at least it would be more balanced. If he were to walk around and say, Trump ain't do shit for you. He was in office, blah, blah, blah. If he pointed out some shortcomings from Biden, if he was equally yoked on both sides, I wouldn't be okay with that, but that would make more sense. But his downfall is when he goes on these platforms and speaks highly of one candidate and does not speak of the shortcomings on the other side. So it looks as if you support that person. And when someone calls him out on it, he's, I didn't say I support it. I don't support it. I didn't say I support it. Like you just said, you have a good relationship with this man.
Also,
you like things that he does. Like you all up Kemp's ass. Like, come on, you don't get to again have your cake and eat it too.
Yeah, right. I was like, wait, you were talking about Kemp. Also, but look, Snoop out here talking about I have nothing but love and respect for Trump. You can get the smoke too, dude. Like this is not okay. It is not. You got poor black people, poor white people out here who will suffer. You got people who get rounded up, put into concentration camps. You got women out here can't leave states to go handle their to get healthcare needs. So while y'all out here playing with people's lives, yeah, you gonna get the smoke because you deserve it.
These niggas have the luxury to just speak recklessly because they have money in the bank. They have resources. So whatever happens, they're gonna be okay. But you are not, and you know who you is.
Okay, great.
You are not. You are not Killer Mike. You are not Snoop Dogg. These things are going to affect you disproportionately because you are not in the same income bracket as these niggas. You don't rub shoulders with the same people that these niggas rub shoulders with. You can't borrow money from the same niggas these niggas can borrow money from. So look, don't listen to people.
You even got a passport? Okay, so somebody can skip town, skip out of this country. Yeah. Can you that easily? So look, you can't even easily move out of state you live in. So what we talking about right now? Okay, look, Beverly said we canceled Chrisette and Michelle, but these dudes talking reckless. It's not okay. Thank you, Bev. Thank you.
We sure did. We sure did.
We still ain't recovered. Okay.
I ain't seen that girl since.
I know. Look, poor thing, but we tried to warn. People tried to tell you. I think Quest called her and was like, "Baby girl, don't do this. Like, don't. If you need money, I got a check for you. Like, please don't do this."
Remember, we gave Ice Cube. Ice Cube got in trouble for some shit like this too.
That's why Jason's talking about like you ain't got Cube's money. You ain't got
right
money. Yeah.
Oh, it hurt my heart when it happened to Cube because when he started explaining himself, he was backpedaling and pussy pop. Again, I want to acknowledge. I'm pretty sure I got that from Funky Duneva. We want to quote sources, but. Yeah, it hurt my heart when I saw him trying to explain himself, and I was like, "Not Cube, come on."
That's the thing. It's like, and what we're talking about, I think it was on Friday's show, is there is a certain level of innate intelligence, absolutely, but you still don't get to be out here acting like you know every motherfucking thing that's good for the community you purportedly represent, because you don't. Because what's coming out of your mouth is showing me that you don't. Exactly. So whatever little bubble you living in, and as Antoine just said, whoever you hobnobbing with, and don't do a disservice to the community you allegedly represent. Stop doing that.
Yeah, it's not the reality that most of us live in. We don't have the luxury of being able to focus on policy and not candidates. Like we don't have that luxury.
It is harm reduction. Ain't nobody saying Biden's the second coming. Nobody's saying that. All right. But hold on to the democracy we have so that we can live to fight another day.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. Sorry. All right. So we'll be back Wednesday. Look, I've had nothing but water tonight. I had Nan drink. Hi, Melissa. Thank you guys for watching. I just feel like I was going to say something else, but I don't know.
This episode was militant.
Well, these stories, these fucking headlines since Friday, it has been nonstop. Hey, in democracy, what?
Yeah, pretty much.
How many times did Trump say the blacks in like fucking 24 hours, 36-hour time frame?
I was triggered at Michael Steele being in the clip with the doctor. I was like, Michael Steele's old long-eared having ass. I ain't seen him in I don't know how long. Over there talking like, I'm like, I don't know if you allowed at the barbecue, Michael. You just seem like you.
No. Michael he stay on MSNBC talking reckless about how fucked up the Republican Party is right now.
But he was the chair at one point.
before, when it was the party that we were like, okay, we don't really like y'all, but you ain't trying to destroy America, right? In the Mitt Romney era, right? Like, no. He jumped ship, I think, soon after Trump went into office.
Michael, because as soon as Michael started saying, yeah, we like sneakers and we smoke Newports, I'm like, nigga, I don't know. I'm giving you the side eye right now because you was the chair of that motherfucker at one point.
Oh,
but okay,
yeah.
I'm going to give him some grace.
No, he's come around. Look, Trump has made for some strange bedfellows, okay? Motherfuckers I would have never thought I'd be like checking for. People I follow on Twitter now, I'm just like, hey, enemy of my enemy, I think is my friend, however that go. Like,
okay. Like, they were, to be fair, they were a different party when he was I wasn't fucking, obviously we weren't fucking with him like that, but
no.
Yeah, it wasn't this, it was not what's happening now. That was pre-Tea Party.
Yeah, no, he's officially a never Trumper. Like, he's not,
okay.
No. Yeah, absolutely not. Gotcha. Yay, thank you, Colin, for watching. We love you guys. Thank you. It's
YouTube might suppress this shit.
Look, we didn't play nobody's video, so what's the problem?
YouTube, we spoke to this a little too much Israel talk.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
So the name of the show, I think, is The Weekend, and it's
Alicia Mendez,
Simone Sanders Townsend, and Michael Steele.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm missing somebody. So okay, guys, thank you. We'll be back Wednesday at 7. Tell a friend and like and subscribe. That part.